So tell me, and be honest, how many crochet or knitting projects, unfinished projects, do you have laying around your home right now? We're going to talk about that today on Stitches in Time Crochet with JoJo. Well, good morning, Yarn Lovelies. So today we're going to talk about my unfinished crochet projects and 2 knitting projects that I went ahead and have not finished and are laying around. I work on them slowly, but I do have some laying around my home. I think there's about 5 altogether, and we'll go through those today. So sit back, grab yourself something nice and comfy and cozy to drink, and let's get started. Cheers to you. Did you ever have those days where you're just sitting around looking at your unfinished work, wondering which one you're going to work on for the day? I have those moments, and trust me, sometimes I go back and forth from one project to the next project to the next project. I can't stick with just one. So I'm going to show you the projects that I'm working on and the yarns that I'm using. You all know about the Ohio State blanket that I've been working on. I think all you need to do is go back and look at one of my videos. I did a video on that one, and the yarn that I'm making with that. That one is coming to life, so it's going to take me a while to get that one done. But that's one of the projects, and it's a big project that I've been working on. Now, the other ones that I've been working on is baby blankets, and I'm so blessed because I have 3 great newborn babies coming in July. So I'm looking forward to that. So I decided, well, why not get started on baby blankets? So I think I bit off a little bit more than what I could chew. So I'll show you those projects, the yarns that I'm using. I'll also show you the prayer shawl that I'm doing for the church. That one, I just did a tutorial on that one, and that one's with the star stitch. So you'll have to take a look at one of my videos on how to learn the star stitch if you don't already know it. So this one's turning out really pretty. It's a slow process, but it's turning out really, really nice. And I'll show you that one and the yarn that I'm using on that one. I'm also working on 2 knitting projects, and they are actually, I'm following a pattern for those. So knitting, I haven't knitted in years, and it's taken me a little bit longer to knit. However, I do enjoy it. Like I said, the ladies in my prayer shawl group, all of them knit. I'm the only crocheter. So it gave me the inspiration to go ahead and pick up my knitting needles and knit. So I'm working on a shawl right now, which is my own. Actually, the shawl that I'm making is my own pattern, and it's turning out really, really nice. But the other one, I'm following a pattern on. That one's going to take a while, so I'll show you that one when that one is done. So the very first project I'm going to show you today is going to be the prayer shawl. And I love the color of this shawl. It's just going to be one color, and I think what I'll do is I'll probably border it with a darker color. And we'll see. They can only be so big. They're almost like a lap blanket, basically, is how big they're supposed to be. But let me get that out and show you. So, and I'll tell you what needle I'm using with it too. So let me find it here. Okay. So this is the yarn that I'm using. It's one of the, it's a Red Heart yarn, Super Saver. And that's the one I'm using. And it is, I think I have it upside down. I'm not really quite sure. It doesn't really matter, I guess. It's called Lake Gray. So it is a 4 weight, and it's 100% acrylic, and it is washable and dry. I love this color. I think it's really pretty. So it's very light, very pretty, very comforting, I think. I'm going to go ahead and border it, I think, in a darker gray, and it's going to look really pretty when it's done. In this project, I'm using a 5 needle crochet hook. It says a US 8, but it's a 5 millimeter. And we're doing the star stitch on this one. Look how beautiful it's turning out. So that's the star stitch. I love doing the star stitch. It's my own little consolation. You know, you make up your own little constellation of stars as you go. And it's so easy and so simple to do. And like I said, I went ahead and did a tutorial on this stitch. So if you're not quite sure how to do it, just check my YouTube channel and you'll see the tutorial for that stitch. I'm starting to do tutorials now, but it seems like you like the podcast more than you do the tutorials, but I'm sure they'll get out there. But that's the first one that I'm working on. Hopefully I'll get that done. I go to a prayer shawl meeting every other Thursday, so hopefully it will be done by this coming Thursday. The next project, okay, that I'm working is going to be the baby blankets. I have 3 of them going at one time, and I really like how they're turning out. So one of them, I got a pattern off Yarnspirations, but I don't know what I did with the pattern. I know it's around here somewhere, but I have it all memorized in my head right now. And it comes with a graph. I don't know if anybody's ever worked with a graph before, but I like working with the graph instead of read. I read the pattern over a few times, get it stuck in my head, and then if they have a graph, I look at the graph. And I think the graph to me is a lot easier. I think the next video that I'll make, hopefully by next week, I'll show you what the graphs look like, if I can go ahead and find the pattern. So I'm going to show you that one right now. Let me grab that one. And this is the baby blanket that I'm making. It's just a chevron baby blanket, and I'll show you the yarn too. It has a lot of different stitches in it, if you can see. I think I got it off Yarnspirations. It's a little chevron blanket. And that's going to be for one of my lucky great nieces or nephews that's coming in July. Hopefully, I like how it has the bobble stitches in there, and then it has if you can see the crisscross stitches. But basically, it's just half double, single, and then you have the bobble, and then the half cross stitches is all that it is. And I think it's just turning out so pretty. This one here I haven't worked on in a while. I need to pick this one up and start crocheting it. But look how pretty that is, and look how shimmery and shiny it is. And the yarn that I'm using for this, and I love this yarn, I don't know why. A lot of people don't like this yarn. I do. Let me grab it for you. The first yarn I'm going to show you is this one. And like I said, it's a red heart. And the pattern actually is on yarnspirations.com. You can get a lot of free patterns off of yarnspirations.com. I go there a lot to find some patterns if I want to do something different, if I want to do a blanket. They have sweaters. They have all kinds of things on free patterns on Yarnspirations. And then they also have the yarn that they use, that they suggest that you use on that website. Now this color here is called Roll With It Sparkle yarn. I looked actually online for these yarns at different yarn shops. They didn't carry it. I got it off eBay. I had to go ahead and look on eBay, and they actually had it. And it wasn't very expensive. So I got 4 rolls of the Pixie, and then the other one, I'll show you what the other color is. But this one here is called Pixie. It's very, very nice. It is washable. It's 97% acrylic and 3% other fibers. It doesn't really tell you what the other fibers are. It has 561 yards in it, and it is washable and dryer. It is a medium 4 weight, and they say to use a 5.5 millimeter, crochet hook with this, or a 5.5 or an 8 US knitting needle with this, if you're going to use it. It is machine washable and dryable, so it's just so pretty. And it's sort of like an ombre. It has all those different colors in it. It's so pretty. I love it. But I do like this Roll With It yarn, Sparkle. It's really nice for Christmas. They had a lot of nice Christmas colors, I think, this year. They had a lot of nice Christmas colors. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't been on their website lately, so I need to get on, or on any of the yarn websites to buy yarn, so I have to get on there and see what other new yarns they have. Now, the other color that I'm making with this baby blanket is also a Roll With It Sparkle yarn by Red Heart. And this color here is called Crystal. And it's so pretty. I just love the blue. I don't know why I like blue so much. I just do. The pink is pretty too, don't get me wrong. But for some reason, I'm more drawn to the blue. You can see that. And it's so pretty. But again, it's this one here is 561 yards. It's all the same. So, and this one I think I also ordered off eBay. So if you go onto eBay, you can see that they do have a lot of the older Red Heart yarns at a pretty reasonable price, depending on the seller that you're getting it from. I would definitely do research on them. It does tell you whether they're a good, you know, source to go to for the yarns. I always do my research before I buy anything. Anything like that off those types of websites. So this one here, like I said, with this one I'm following a pattern with, but I have the pattern. It's actually the graph that I'm following and I have it in my head, but I just can't find the pattern. I don't know what I did with it. I know it's laying around somewhere. So the second baby blanket that I'm working on is the shell stitch. I'm going to do a tutorial on that stitch. I love the shell stitch too. It's not one of my favorites, but it's one that I like to work with a lot. The yarns that I'm using for this baby blanket is going to be, remember, I'm not sure if you saw my other videos or not, but I buy the Pound of Love, and it's by Lion Brand, I believe. Let me check here. I think yep, Lion Brand. So I'm using, this color is called Denim. So I'm using this color. I have a lot of this color. Because I was going to make a big blanket. I was going to do the Jacob's Ladder blanket with this one and another multiple color for my nephew and his wife. However, I saw another yarn that I like better. And I have not started that one yet, but that one there I will start. But I like the yarn better, and I think I'm going to use the other yarn that I got for that one. And when I start that project, we'll do a video on that one. But this one here, it's a 4-weight. It's a 4-weight, and it is 1,020 yards. So 16 ounces, basically, of yarn that you're going to get in here. It is 100% premium acrylic. So it is all acrylic, and it's machine washable and dryable. I think it's really, really pretty. I can see the blue. I don't know why I gravitate to blue. Here's another blue that I like, but that one's called Denim, and it does almost look like denim, doesn't it? So pretty. So pretty. I went to Michael's, since Joann Fabrics went out, is usually where I bought my yarn, and online too at certain places. When Joann Fabrics went out, I went out to Michael's. They didn't have a wide selection, but I know now that they say that they have better yarn there. So I have to get out there and look and see what they have. But this is where I got that. I got it at Michael's. So that's one of the colors that I'm using here. I'm thinking, I already know the sex of one of my gray, and it's going to be a boy. So anyway, this is why I'm using the blue in this one. And then also I'm using this yarn here. Of course, it's another Red Heart Super Saver. I always buy the jumbos or the pounds. I don't know why, I just do. I'm always afraid that I'm going to run out of yarn and then I have to go out and get it again. But I don't mind, you know, I don't mind. But this one's called Soft White, and it's really pretty. Soft white. I don't know if you can see that or not. So pretty. And this one here again is a 4-weight. And how many? And it's washable and dryable. It's 100% acrylic also. The only thing I don't like about it is like really soft. And then sometimes the fuzzies come off. So if you're crocheting, don't crochet in black, because you're going to get these fuzzies everywhere. You know, I guess once you wash it, it should be okay. But yeah, I just noticed that the other day I had a pair of black sweatpants on, and when I was done crocheting with this project, I looked down and I had little fuzzies all over me, and it was from this yarn. It doesn't shed too much, but you will get some fuzzies on there. So, but this one is washable and dryable too. So this one, I think it's pretty, it's nice and soft, and you can make a nice cardigan sweater out of that. You know, not along with a baby blanket, of course, is what I'm doing, but that would make for a really nice cardigan sweater, or even a spring sweater. It's light, it's not real heavy, Depending on the stitch that you're going to use for it, you know, if you're going to use a heavy stitch, you know, a tight stitch, then yeah, it'll probably be heavy. But if you're going to use a loose stitch, I think that would be perfect for like a spring or summer, you know, cardigan, just to slip over your shoulders, you know, in the summertime. But that's the other yarn that I'm using. Now I will go ahead and show you what this shawl looks like. It is so pretty. And the needle, or the hook that I'm using. Why do I always call the hooks needles? I don't know. I just do that all the time. So anyway, cheers to you. So I'm drinking some coffee today. So I usually don't drink coffee. I drink tea. So if I'm babbling on more than ever, it's because of the coffee. And I only do 1 cup. So this is the shell stitch. This is what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to, isn't it so pretty? And I'll do a tutorial on this one too. It's just so pretty. I love it. And that's what it looks like when you do the shell stitch. It goes fairly quick. It goes very, very quick when you're crocheting that shell stitch. So sometimes I like, and that's another question I wanted to ask you too, is like when you're crocheting, do you like background noise or do you just like to have it quiet and in your own thoughts? I have to have background noise. I can't tell you how many true crime series I have watched or listened to. And also, I love my reality TV. It just makes me feel better about myself when I watch reality TV. So that usually when I crochet, that's what I listen to. Now, the hook that I'm using for that is a 6.0 hook. That's what I'm using to crochet and to work that stitch and to make with this baby blanket. It's just beautiful. I can't wait until it's done. I got to get these done before July. So we'll see how they turn out. So the last baby blanket that I'm making, which is the 3rd baby blanket that I'm making, I'm using the seed stitch for this baby blanket. It is turning out beautiful. It's scrap yarn. Don't ask me what kind of yarn it is. I know it's a baby yarn. I think it's a 3-weight. I do not know really what kind of yarn it is. I couldn't tell you. I have so much yarn in my home. I just went through a lot of it, and a lot of it did not come with, you know, the paper wrappings that come around it. So, but this is the color. It's in a multiple of colors, and this is one of them. I honestly can't tell you what color it is. I'm sorry. I can try to find it online, and I can let you know. I can put it in the description if I do find it. It's a 3-weight, very nice, very thin, very soft. And this comes in a multiple of colors. It comes in yellow, it comes in peach, it comes in variegated, and then it comes in the blue. And none of them, like I said, they're scrap yarn. I don't even know if I bought this yarn. I don't know if this came in a Mary Maxim kit or at one point, or if it was actually given to me. I can't remember anymore. I have a spare bedroom in my home, and that's where I keep all my yarn bins, you know, with all my different yarns, and a lot of them don't have labels on them. So I'm sorry. But yeah, this is the yarn that I'm using. And this is the stitch that I'm doing. And this is a seed stitch. If anybody's familiar with the seed stitch, it's, you know, all it is single crochet and double crochet side by side. And that's a seed stitch. And this is actually the other baby blanket that I'm doing. How pretty is that? The variegated I'm going to use to board. Oh, actually this one down here where you see the purple, the dark peach right in here. The purple, the dark peach, and the aqua sort of, that's the variegated. This is the peach here, and then yellow by itself and blue. So I might just border this in the yellow just to give it some brightness when it's done. But that's the one that I'm working on. If I do find a label for the yarn, I will put it in the descriptions. I like working with this yarn. It doesn't split. Usually, you know, some of the finer yarns will usually split when you have it on your hook or when you have it on your knitting needle. This doesn't. So I sort of like it, and I know that it's washable. It is washable because it's an acrylic. I can feel it and see it right away that it is an acrylic. So very nice, but that's the other blanket that I'm making. All right, so those were the baby blankets and the prayer shawl that I've been working on. For the Ohio State blanket, you're going to have to check that out in my other video. It's the Ohio State chevron video that I was making. As that grows and as I progress on that, I'll show you that. It's really becoming really nice. So I can't wait until it's done. Now I'm going to show you the knitting projects that I'm doing. I know the one pattern that I got was a disaster. I kept ripping it out, ripping it out, ripping it out. And finally, I think I got it. So I did purchase, actually, I did purchase this pattern. I think it cost me $6 or something. So off the Expression Fibers website. I just thought it was so beautiful, and this I can do. But this is what it looks like, and it's called the Entangled. There is a YouTube channel on how you can do this, and I'll link that to the description so that you can see it. But I just think it's so beautiful. And it has a graph with it. So, but the directions aren't all of that. You know, the pattern's not all that bad. This is the pattern here. Now, I'm only doing it, I think, in 2 colors, whereas they have a number of colors that they're using in this pattern. This is the pattern right here itself. And that's it. That's all it is. But it's just knit and purl, and then of course you're going to do some lace work. But this is the graft. It's just a small graft, and it just tells you where you knit, where you purl, where you do 2 together, where you knit 2 together, where you go ahead and yarn over and knit 6. So that's the graft, and it's really nice. But when I'll find the link and I'll put it into the description so you can, if you do knit, you can follow along. You don't have to really pay for the pattern. I just wanted the pattern. I collect patterns for some reason. I have a book of patterns. So I collect all different types of patterns. And this one here is very easy to do. So we'll wait and see, and how long. This one is going to be for myself. I'm not going to give this away. All the crochet projects that I do make, there's very few that I keep for myself. The rest I give as gifts. I don't know if anybody else does that or not. It just makes me feel good that I can make something for somebody and give it to somebody as a gift. Just makes me feel good, especially around Christmas time. I usually have like 3 or 4 projects going at the same time. And then at Christmas, I give them as gifts. So last year, I think I made Christmas trees, and I put little decorative battery lights on them. And they turned out really nice. And then this year I made shawls, is what I made this year for everybody. Now, this is the colors that I'm using for the Entangled. And I'm using the Caribou, the Kobu is what I'm using. I'm going to do it in the yellow. This is the one color. So I'm going to go back and forth in the yellow. I think it would make her for a really nice summer shawl. And this is a 3.5 ounces. So it's 232 yards in this. And I have a lot of the yellow and a lot of the white. And here again, I think I got this off Amazon. I saw this when Joann Fabrics was going out of business. I got a lot of different colors in this yarn. I got blues. I got like a light, an ocean green. And then I think I got 1 or 2 of the yellow. And then I went on Amazon and I saw that they had more of the yellow and white. So that's what I got from Amazon. But this is 51% cotton and 49% rayon from bamboo. So really nice. It is machine washable on the gentle cycle and tumble dry. This is where this is the yarn that they make the knitted knockers for. See that? The knitted knockers. And I support that. My mom went through breast cancer, and now it's back. And that's part of the reason why I bought this yarn too, because I support that. So, And the other colors that I also am using is the white. And I think the white is really pretty. So it's going to be very, very summery, I think. Very flowy. That's what I like, very flowy. You can wear it with your dresses or your nice pair of jeans and a nice top, you know, in the summertime. I don't think I'll get it done for this summer. I might end up getting, till I get the baby blankets done, I may end up getting it done for next summer. And like I said, this is probably going to be for me too. So that's the project that and the needles that I'm using, I think are, I'm using round needles, and they're a 4.0 milligram needle. So that's what I'm using. So you start off by knitting the first 16 rows. You know, so it's going to have a little border to it where you knit, you know, where you're going to knit and purl. But yeah, that's the one, and I'm using the rounded needles. So that's what I'm using for this project. So that's my knitting project. Now the other one it's a shawl, and it's one that I have decided to figure out on my own. I'm not really using a pattern for this one, but the colors I'll be using in this shawl is going to be a very pretty green, real light green, and this one here is going to be a darker green. Now the yarn that I'm using, I don't have the label, I'm sorry for the greens, but the yarn that I'm using is actually the KC yarn. This is what it is. This one's okay to work with. It's a little bit light and airy. But this one here, this color is called River Run. This is pretty. But yeah, let's see here. It says 180 yards is in it. It's 100% cotton. So this yarn is. I have a lot of colors in this yarn. I have a variegated, I have the blue, I have the greens, I have, I think, a real pretty coral. The coral I used to make a shawl out of, and it turned out very, very pretty. That one I gave away for Christmas. I do like working with this yarn. I got this, like I said, when Joann's was going out of business. I bought up a lot of these colors at Joann's. So yeah, I like working with it. I do like working with it. So it's very nice, but it's very slippy on the needles and on the crochet hooks. So you have to be very, very careful that when you're knitting, you're not dropping any of the stitches. But this is actually, I'm working on, let's see here. This is the shawl that I'm making. And I'm thinking about making this for myself. I probably will end up giving it away, but it's so pretty. Here again, I'm using my round needles for it because it's, you know, the yarn overs, and but this is what it looks like. It's going to be in the two colors, so I think it's really pretty. It's the back side, this is the front side, and all these are here on the edges are yarn overs, basically. That gives it that little look, but it's basically all knit with yarn overs. It's very easy to do. And the yarn overs is just going to expand it, make it bigger. It grows. You're going to do it you're going to knit one end, and then the next one row, and then the next row you do your yarn overs on each end, both of these ends here. So really nice. It's a nice little pattern. But those are my projects for the day. Those are the unfinished projects of crochet and knitting that I have around my home. So tell me, what are the ones that you have around your home? Please leave it in comments. I also wanted to show you, and I'll put it up here, I wanted to show you too that I finished the other two, the one baby blanket for the prayer group. I crocheted a baby blanket for the prayer shawl group, and I also finished the prayer shawl. So I'll make sure that I link them on the top here of this video so that you can see what they look like. They turned out really, really pretty. The yarn that I used was that one that I'm crocheting the baby blankets with, that bundle of love yarn. One was variegated, one was not. So I'll go ahead and, like I said, put that there on the top so you can see that. Yeah, so I hope that everybody enjoys this video, and thank you for stopping by and visiting me today, taking your time out and watching my videos. Do take a look at the tutorials that I have and the other videos that I have on this channel. There will be more coming. It's been a while since I posted a longer video, but I think I'm going to do a lot more longer videos, maybe once a week, depending. I've been so busy lately that, with between my grandson and, traveling, I've been a little bit busy here. So, podcast I will put out once a week, hopefully. And then the tutorials I'll probably, if I can and have time, they usually don't take too long to do. I'll probably put out 2 of those a week. So it depends. But come and visit me. Keep visiting. I love having you. And enjoy this beautiful day and this beautiful weather coming. And please be kind to everybody. A smile doesn't cost much, and it might make somebody's day. And always remember to keep those, hooks in the yarn, those needles in the air, and let's create something beautiful and wonderful. It's been a pleasure talking or sharing my time with you today, and I will see you on the next one.